Hey everybody, what is going on? HexLex here, got another Master Duel video for you, and it's Monday, which means it is once again time for another one of our weekly viewer specials. I think you all pretty much know the drill by now, but if this is your first viewer special, or if you just haven't watched this series very much, I'll give you a little breakdown of how this works. So every single Monday here on the channel, I like to showcase games from you all, the viewers. That way we can not only see some other decks that I don't necessarily play as much, or maybe at all, but also, you know, just a fresh perspective on stuff that we do play. It is also nice to be able to cheer each other on, and really helps us kind of feel more like a community in that way. And if you want to get in on the action, then you're going to want to head down to the description below. One of the links there is going to be an invite link to our Discord server, the HexLexPlex. There you're going to want to go down to the viewer special submissions channel, which is in the Master Duel section, and there you can leave your 9-digit player ID, and that way I can view your publicly saved replays. Please do make sure that you are double checking that this number is correct, this one right here, and that you are making sure those replays are public, because if neither of those things are true, then I, unfortunately, will not be able to see your games. Yeah, we do this every week, like I said. We can only do so many per week, but I watch pretty much everything that comes in, so even if you didn't get in this week, there is always the next one. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. So why don't we just go ahead and get right on into these duels. Okay, so our first duel comes to us from Shosti, hopefully I didn't butcher your name too badly there, who has a game. Let me pull this up here. So this is going to be Fiendsmith Yubel FTK, featuring Aerial Eater, new card for the deck. I have actually seen some combo lines with Aerial Eater in Yubel, which is of course the new UR fusion monster here. Yeah, you can actually, like, this is actually good in Yubel right now. You actually don't have to wait for Beatrice to get banned. I know Moha did an updated combo guide where they were showing off some combos with the Aerial Eater. I was not aware that you could FTK with this card. I think I kind of see it, though. I already see the Nightmare Archfiends here. So I'm sure that's something to do with it. Archfiend Eris and Earthbound Release. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll be very interested to see how this all plays out. And it looks like our opponent is going to be on Musket. Magical Musketeers, of course, also featuring the new Fiendsmith package. Duh. So, alright. Yeah, I'm very eager to see this. Shosti mentioned that there's going to be some timing issues with the combo, but that they still pull off the FTK, so that's kind of cool. I'm always down for a foolproof FTK, because I will find a way to mess it up. Okay, so this looks like a pretty typical Yubel hand here. We're going to lead with Fury Reese map for the D-Lotus. Opponent's going to Ash Blossom our Nightmare Throne that we're activating here. I'm guessing we're trying to go for Beckoning Beast to get an extra normal summon there. But we still have the gates here, so we can still grab the Beckoning Beast that way. Normal Beast, Beast F to add our other gates. We can use extra normal summon for the D-Lotus. D-Lotus F will tribute itself in order to summon out the Spirit. We already have the Nightmare Pain in hand, so that's our only copy. Pain F popping the Spirit in hand. It's very good practice. If you already have a Spirit in hand, you might as well keep the one on board. Getting the Grave Scormer, summoning Yubel, popping Yubel. Then we go for the Terror Incarnate. Not using Throne F because we're getting into Terror Incarnate anyway. Using the opening here to not only summon back Spirit, but also add back the gates. Now we're going to link off the Grave Scormer and the Terror Incarnate into Moon. Okay, this looks pretty typical so far. I'm very interested to see the point at which it diverges. Going into Fiendsmith stuff, yep. Making a Phantom here. Adding a little insulation for our board. Making sure that we're not gonna... I mean, to be fair, if they were gonna nib us, they probably would have done it already. There's Sequence. I wonder, because I know, obviously, Lacrima can burn. We have the Nightmare Archfiends. I guess it is doing just enough burn. Okay, so here we're fusing for Aerial Eater with the Sequence, and then Aerial Eater's bending Eris. Eris adds Nightmare Archfiends because it is an Archfiend card. Okay, okay. Engraver F, putting back the Moon to summon itself, sure. Going for a rank 10. It's gonna be the Varudras. however it's pronounced. You can still go for Beatrice when you make Aerial Eater as well, because it's level 6. So that's a lot of the thing, right? Like, even I was caught up in, oh, transaction rollback. Oh, okay, it's a rollback combo. I was wondering how we were going to activate the Earthbound card, because I didn't see the Earthbound monster, but I was so busy looking for an Earthbound monster, I didn't even look for transaction rollback. I think I'm understanding the pieces here. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, again, that's the thing about Aerial Eater, right? Like, I even made the mistake of saying, like, oh, Aerial Eater, yeah, once Beatrice is banned, this will be good, but no, you can definitely make use of Aerial Eater in Yubel right now. And not even just for, like, a specific FTK build like this. That little line that Shosi did there, of using Sequence to make Aerial Eater and then bringing back Engraver and using those to make the Beatrice, that is definitely something that you can pretty regularly do in most Yubel decks. So, here's the other Beatrice F. Oh, I thought they were about to throw down an Imperm there for a sec. We're gonna chain Wanted. We're chaining Nightmare Archfiend, sacking Sequence to summon 3 Archfiend tokens to their field. And is it when those are destroyed that they deal 800? Yes, each time one is destroyed, its controller takes 800 damage. Wanted for Diabellstar, Beatrice dumping Earthbound Release. Standby main. Okay, we're gonna let them go into the main phase. Phantom's gonna activate on the Engraver. What exactly does the Earthbound card do again? Let me read this. Tribute 1 level 10 Earthbound monster. So we don't have to pay that cost, right? Destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. If you do, inflict damage to your opponent equals the combined attack. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that'll do it. So we just need them to have one more monster, because this is 6,000. No, we don't. Because they take 800 for each, right? So this is just lethal. Yep, there it is right there. 6,000 plus 800 times 3 is 2,400, is 8,400 points of damage. Wow, so that was not difficult at all to just slot in a little rollback FTK, was it? We just used the Aerial Eater to dump the Archfiend Heiress, that adds the Nightmare Archfiend, and then Beatrice sets up the rollback Earthbound release. That's good. That's good. Oh, thanks for showing that off for not only this cool FTK, but also the power of Aerial Eater, giving us a glimpse into what it can currently do for Yubel, which I would like to explore more, maybe in an upcoming video. But we still have a couple more to check out. Let's go into the next one. Okay, our next duel here comes to us from Birdwatcher. So Birdwatcher has a game with a deck I'm pretty interested to see. They say, I saw a really cool YouTube video, decided to try it out for myself. No hand traps, full engine. Horus Naturia, Tierlament, and Fiendsmith. Just a pile of good stuff. We're playing against Vanquish Soul. Unfortunately, because it's a dual scope game, I can't look at deck lists here. But I am still extremely eager to see how this is going to play out, because I think that sounds like a very appealing idea. I like pile decks, duh. If you've been on the channel for even half a second, you probably know that about me, because that's all I, you know, like to not focus on, but you know what I mean. I really like them. I always let people know too. Alright, let me see the extra deck here. Ooh, we got the Baguska even. We have a room for a lot of stuff here. Okay, we got the Nappies too. Interesting. The Zombie Vamp. Okay, alright. And we're going second here. So this is actually the exact kind of game that I was eager to take a look at, is how well a deck with no hand traps can do going second. Although I will say, literally every time I take Tierlament to ladder, I always find myself getting anxious because my only hand traps are 2 Max C and 3 Ash Blossom. I mean, you don't typically play many other hand traps in that deck. And I'm always like, I don't know. And then I'm reminded, oh yeah, Tier just has enough gas to just push through boards going second. And that's the theory here as well. I do see that we have Thrust in hand, so that is going to definitely be of some use here. Ooh, they're on Impulse. That's a good tech for Vanquish Soul. Vanquish Soul can also, of course, make use of the new 7th Tachyon. That is another thing I want to explore in an upcoming video. I keep forgetting to do that. I need to write that down on like a sticky note and put it on my monitor. Like, 7th Tachyon and Vanquish Soul. Because I keep, like... what I keep doing is I keep being like, oh, what deck am I going to record today? And I keep forgetting that I still want to do that. So, until after, of course, I've already recorded another video. But anyway. Yeah, they're just doing fairly typical Vanquish Soul stuff over there. They have the Impulse. in hand, which we do need to be aware of. Thrust for the grass here, and we're going for it. Okay, with the grass, we'll be able to see a lot of mills here. So even though we couldn't view the deck list, we'll be able to get a good idea of what's all in the deck. Plus, I mean, they did also explain it very well, Birdwatcher. I think, you know, the whole idea of just, oh, so we're on a lot of board breakers. I just saw, okay, I saw a lot of things go there. Let's take a look here. I saw Dark Hole was in there, right? And then, yeah, Summon Breaker? During your main phase 1, if the turn player successfully conducts their third summon of a monster this turn, it becomes the end phase. So this is kind of a tool to help us go first. And then, yeah, I did see Dark Hole in there as well. Okay, cool. So we got quite a few effects that are going to go off here. Etruria Sacred Tree, Shiren, Soliak. I know Perform Age, yep, Trick Clown is in there as well. And was that the last one? I think so, yeah. Okay. Alright, so Trick Clown summons itself. Soliak is going to add Rhino Heart. Shiren fuses with the other... Oh, with the Emerald Tortoise. Yeah, because we have Rainbow Bridge in there, too. Now let's go for Kikolos. So there's a very good grass. Definitely one we like seeing. Searching up another Naturia Blessing off the Sacred Tree. So I think we have a Mole Cricket in there. So they're going to try to use Fenrir on the Kikolos. Unfortunately, that is going to get to resolve here. But I think we have enough other gas in order to keep our plays going here. We're going to add Tear Cache to hand and then also activate the Rainbow Bridge effect here. Is Rainbow Bridge going to go for the Horsefield spell, probably? Yeah, there it is. Walls of the Imperial Tomb, that's what it's called. Tear Cache to summon by banishing Soliak. We get to mill 3 here. They're going to Chain Impulse to special summon a Machine Rescue Ace monster from the deck. Now, is this going to be... Yep, Fire Attacker, I assumed. I saw Sunflower get milled there. We're linking Trick Clown and Tear Cache into Nightmare Phoenix. Taking out that back row, I see, before we keep going. Which is, of course, the Snow Devil. So yeah, we knew they had a board wipe in the back wing there. Oh, but they actually only revealed 2 things there. Interesting. But it is worth remembering that their Vanquish Soul cards can't be destroyed by card effects this turn. I've had games where I forget about that part of the effect, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can't just pop my way through this board. Oops. So, we got double Naturia's Blessing here for Sunflower plus Mole Cricket. Raise an F, adding the Caesar Valius. Now we get to go for the Mole Cricket at this point. And our opponent's going to chain Dr. Madlove. Monster with the lowest defense would definitely be our 0 defense Naturia Sunflower. Remember that Link monsters don't count because they don't have 0 defense. They don't have defense points at all. Summoning double Camellia here. We're going to use Camelia's effect to dump a card. Opponent's going to get to use the Fire Attacker F to draw 2, discard 1. Pitching an extra in for Noble Sword. I've never been a fan of that card in Vanquish Soul. It's really only good if you open Fenrir, honestly. Which our opponent did here, but... Alright, so in response to King Stark, they're going to go for the Borger. King Stark F, we're going to send the Dumateth. What do we discard for that? It was... Hang on. Where is it? Oh, we discarded Sunflower, okay. Okay, so I assume they're going to use Valius here to try to pop our King Stark. I mean, we do still have the Walls of the Imperial Tomb, though. Getting to summon the Sunflower back off the Camellia is very nice, too. Very much insulates our board. Now, our Kikolos is banished, but we can still go for a Kaleido Heart here. We're activating Kaleido Heart's effects, putting back the Fenrir, linking off Nightmare Phoenix plus one of our 2 Camellias in order to go to Moon of the Closed Heaven. Still haven't done Fiendsmith stuff, by the way, so we can pivot into that. Alright, here's Requiem. Requiem F for Engraver. We even get to use Engraver to pop a card here, or send a card rather. Nice swirl Engraver, by the way. Very, very nice. Skullmeister! Ugh. Brutal. Skullmeister? Really? Not like DD Crow? I mean, I understand wanting to use a hand shot that's dark attribute, but... Orbistial? Skullmeister. Huh. Anyway. Alright, so Dumatef plus Engraver is going to make the sequence here. Sequence F, gonna fuse for 2. This will be Lacrima, I imagine. Yep. Then Lacrima can bring back the Engraver to hand. Do we have another Tract in deck? Because I think I saw that we milled a Tract there. Okay, pivoting into Little Knight. Little Knight F, banishing the Caesar Valleys. We also get to burn with the Lacrima by putting back sequence here. Right, and then we're going to bring back in Seti, as well as Hoppy. Moving to battle phase. And yeah, we can get over their board with ease here. And then we're gonna go into, this is Zombie Vamp, right? I think that's the only raid gate we play. Yep, Zombie Vamp. So our opponent does have quite a few cards. We took their reason. Our opponent does have quite a few cards in hand, but we definitely have the advantage here as far as the board state goes. So we have the Appaloosa plus the Camellia and the Sunflower. That lets us negate like any amount of monster effects our opponent's gonna do here. Going for Fenrir again, looks like they drew it. We're going to go Camellia F, bring back Camellia. They're activating Fenrir. We're going to use Sunflower to negate and destroy the Fenrir, which I think is a good call, otherwise it would just battle over our Appaloosa. Alright, activating Stake Your Soul, revealing Max C in order to grab an Earth. That'll be the Caesar Valleys. Normal summoning Raisin. We're going to use Appaloosa to negate the Raisin. They're going to chain the Valleys F. But we can still use Sunflower here. It's not once per turn. This will, which will negate and destroy the Valleys. Yep. What did they reveal? It was Maxi, Rise Heart, Heavy Borger. Okay. So that's kind of the other thing about Vanquish Soul too, is that even though they tend to have a lot of cards in hand, a lot of them are just kind of like stuff to reveal. Like the Maxi and the Rise Heart in this case, so... Like, yeah, our opponent's got 5 cards in hand, but remember, 2 of those are just kind of things that aren't really... Stuff that's not really doing anything right now. Alright, we're using Appaloosa to negate their Xiaolong. And then Borger F gets to activate here to burn us for 1500. This is a pretty insanely back and forth duel here. Using our final Appo negation on that. I actually like doing that here because it's so rare that you actually get to drop your Appaloosa down to 0 attack by, you know, using all your negates. I like taking the opportunity to do it when possible. Alright, they did manage to battle over a board here, but in the process they didn't really end up putting up anything too threatening. Yeah, once the rock is summoned, we can bring back our Mole Cricket. Could actually go to Nat Beast next turn if we really wanted to, but I don't know how good that'll be. I mean, we just have all our Horus monsters too. That's the great thing about getting in a grind game where you're on the Horus engine, is like, it's so easy for your opponent to think that you're out of stuff to do, and they're just like, summon 4 giant beads. It's like, oh yeah. Like, even Valius popping the Kingstark here, like, so doesn't matter because we have the field spell. Excuse me. So, we're activating Tear Grief, they're chaining Maxi. We actually might just deck them out here. Well, okay, no, we're just going for Kaleido Heart. Looks like. And then we get to activate Kaleido Heart's effect, sending a Tear card to bring it back. And then because a Tear card got sent, now we can activate, yep, Kaleido Heart's effect. And of course the Fuser that we milled as well. Yeah, I definitely agree with playing through this Max C, because like at this point, if we don't just get lethal anyway, we can just deck them out. Also, Vanquish Soul doesn't really play Nib because it's light. You don't really want to play hand traps that aren't Dark Wind or Fire, ideally. And Nib's not great in this format anyway, so I'd say the odds of our opponent being on it are fairly slim to none. Yeah, the Bystials like this Druid Swarm here would be the most threatening thing they could search against our deck, but Camellia bringing back Sunflower. Gonna activate Sunflower F here to negate and destroy the Raisin. Opponent's activating Xiaolong and Valius, but Sunflower isn't even once per chain. We could have potentially used it here, I think. But I think, I mean, to be fair, I don't know, it doesn't really matter if we pop the Raisin, right? It's still gonna get negated. And Valius has already used its effect, so that doesn't really matter in that regard either. Oh, we are actually going in that beast. Wait, are we going to just deck them out? I think that is what we're potentially going for here, what we might be doing. Okay, so that brings back Mole Cricket. Walls of the Imperial Tomb. Now we can bring back the Dumateth. They're going to go Magnum Hut F to banish Imseti, but we could still just activate the Walls F here. Ooh. Oh, I thought I spilled my water for a second. Alright, there's a Moon of the Closed Heaven. Oh, I did actually spill a little bit. Oops, no, that's not that big of a deal. Alright. Requiem for Engraver. Yeah, we're just stacking them at this point. We're just summoning like as many things as we can. Which is exactly what I was saying before, too, with the Maxi, right? If we can't push through it at this point, we just gotta deck them out with it. And these big pile decks are definitely the style of decks that are most apt to do it, for sure. Alright, so 6. We just need 5 more summons. Lacrima gets another summon. And we can still go for... We still haven't used the field spell effect, right? So yeah, we can still go field spell F to get the Imseti, and then Imseti... Unless all of our Imsetis are in the graveyard already. That might be the case, but... It's looking like we're not even going to need the horror stuff in order to be able to do this. We're just going back into Moon of Closed Heaven. There we go. Decking them out with their own Maxi. What a great finish to this duel. Thank you for sharing that, Birdwatcher. Oh, they timed you out. Boo. Boo! I hope you reported them for slow play. But anyway, we have one more duel to check out. Let's finish off with that one. Okay, our final game for this week comes to us from Jordan, aka Poetry is Alive. So we're gonna take a look at a Duelist Cup here. Duelist Cup game, rather. Let me see. If I remember right, we're playing Fiendsmith Tierlaments. Yes? Yes, we are. And it looks like our opponent here is going to be on Blue Eyes White Dragon. Jordan says, I may get debates about this, but it may be the best deck in the meta, referring to... Oh, my facial expression changed, sorry. Referring to Fiendsmith Tierlaments. I think it's up there, honestly. I actually... This is probably going to be tomorrow's video, but I recently had a game... Or had games where I was testing out Fiendsmith Tierlaments with Millennium Engine, too, and I was very, very impressed with it. Alright, so it looks like we're leading with Fiendsmith stuff here. As usual, you know. With a hand like this, getting to bait out the potential interaction from our opponent with the Engraver is very nice. We could, of course, go Foolish Goods for Solaic to add Rhinoheart and just do Tierlaments stuff that way, but might as well just save it, you know? If we can use the Fiendsmith engine to pivot into tier stuff, then we could save the Foolish Goods to, like, maybe send a Scream to search a trap card or something at the end of our combo. Or the end of our turn. Tierlaments doesn't really necessarily have, like, dedicated combo lines, because you never know what you're going to mill, but that's the fun of the deck, in my opinion. Yep, so, pretty typical stuff here. We're going to make the Beatrice, I assume, and then dump... We could actually just dump Rhinoheart here if we really wanted to. Yeah, because we could just send the Havness in hand. Although, to be fair... This is a little awkward. Okay, we're just not activating Rhinoheart. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, because I was going to say, if you activate Rhinoheart and try to dump Solaic here, or, I mean, not Solaic, Shiren, then you won't get to use the Kicklow second effect, but... That's actually a misplay I see. One of the more common Tierlaments misplays that I see other people make on ladder is that they'll do stuff like that. They'll just use a Fuser like every single time. They'll just use all of their effects every single time they get milled. And while generally, yeah, if you mill something in Tierlaments and ask you to activate it, you activate it like 90% of the time. There's still a solid 10% of the time, which is a lot, where you really don't want to use that kind of effect. And that was a good example of not using the Rhinoheart effects there. Alright, getting to mill the Shiren lets us go into Volcalos, and now we're linking off into, I assume this is Appaloosa. It is. We still have the Beatrice for their turn as well. I always forget that about Beatrice, and I really should make an effort to save Beatrice on my end board in Tierlaments more often. I always forget this is a quick effect. This is a case of, it's less that I forget the effect, it's more that sometimes my brain likes to balance cards that are really stupidly broken. Like, surely this rank 6 that's generic that could let you dump any card from your deck, that wouldn't be a quick effect, right? Right? So. Alright, so they're leading with the Roar. of the Blue-Eyed, I think is what that card is called. Set to pass! Oh, rip opponent. Oh, that's awful. But I will say, this is kind of one of the weaknesses of Blue Eyes, is that whether it's hand traps or a defined end board, Blue Eyes has trouble pushing through disruption. But just because it's the opponent's end phase does not mean that their suffering is ended. As we are going to take the opportunity to mill off Beatrice, go into Collider Heart, putting back their Blue Eyes, and your opponent rather is like, no, we're done. So that was cool. Yeah, I think that I agree that Fiendsmith Tierlaments is definitely a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's not even that I thought the deck was going to be bad. I just thought that everything else was going to be so much better, but it's really not compared to Fiendsmith Tierlaments. Stuff like Snake Eye and Yubel are not like so much crazy better that, you know, Fiendsmith Tierlaments is not worth exploring at all, for sure. But thank you, Jordan, for sharing that. Thank you to everybody who submitted. Even if you didn't get featured, the fact that you submitted still is very important, because without any submissions, we wouldn't be able to do this series at all. And this is probably one of my favorite series that we do here on the channel. So thank you very much for submitting. That'll be all for now. So let's move on to our outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Just want to give you a huge thanks for watching all the way to the very end of the video. Believe it or not, that is actually one of the best ways that you can support the channel, is by watching the videos in their entirety. But there are many ways in which you can support the channel if you are so interested. The names that you're seeing on screen here, I gotta give an extra special thanks to, because these are people who have chosen to either become a member on YouTube, which if you're interested you can do as well via the join button next to the subscribe button down there, or have signed up over on Patreon and become members there. Link to that is going to be in the description below. Without the support that is being offered by, again, all the people that you're seeing on screen right here, I would not be able to take the time to dedicate to uploading daily YouTube videos. So thank you so very much. But there are also other ways you can support as well. Again, link to the description below. If you like my deck tracker that you'll see in a lot of my videos, the Untapped Companion, you can download that for free, and if you use my affiliate link down there, then that also goes a long way towards supporting the channel. That's again free. So is subscribing here on YouTube. That's also free and a huge way to support. You can also check out Twitch, once again linked in the description below. Following and subscribing over there will not only support as well, but also give you notifications of when I go live if you want to catch some of the live streams. But really, no matter how you choose to support, it all adds up, and it all definitely means the world. So thank you, each and every one of you. For now, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out, but more than that, I'm hoping that you have a fantastic day.